All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Amp2.tv presents You and Your Doctor, teaching you to live a longer and healthier life. Proudly sponsored by All County Healthcare, where people are the heart of our business. All County Healthcare is a Medicare certified agency where one call will service all your home care health needs. For more information, call 954-717-7027 or visit our website, allcountyhealthcare.com. Now, let's get informed to living a longer and healthier life. Here is your host for today's show.
Welcome, South Florida, and it's nice to be back here again this week, although we had a lot of rain. You know, I just want to brief one thing. The elections are over. It's now the time for us to all heal. You know, I was talking to people, like daughters are not talking to mothers, sons are not talking to fathers, wives are not talking to husbands. Let's get over it. Let's start fresh. Let's give the support to our president, and hope and pray he does a good job. Other than that, our guest tonight, Dr. Gupta, took ill, and she's not going to be able to be here tonight. She's a primary care physician, excuse me, out of Fort Lauderdale, and she'll be on very shortly once she feels better. Tonight we're going to talk about health care. You know, our show is You and Your Doctor Live Long and Healthier Life. I don't sound like I'm going to be living a long and healthier life right now. But anyway, what that means is, you know, as we grow older, the seniors today, you know, especially right now, from October to December, they have a choice in health care plans. You know, Medicare came into existence in 1963 by President Kennedy and signed by President Johnson, which gave the right to everybody who retires at the age of 65 to go on Medicare, or if you're totally disabled, to go on Medicare. You've been paying for that since 1965. Today, the world has changed. Now we have all kinds of plans. I turn on the television today and I see 100 companies right now selling Medicare Advantage plans to the seniors. And let me advise you, my years of experience in healthcare for the last 30 years, I find they say Medicare Advantage. I have nothing against Medicare Advantage plans. They might be a little less, might cost a little less. But, you know, I was always of the belief, what Bear Aspirin used to say, the best always costs a little bit more. So if you want something that's good, you've been paying it for all your life, why would you switch? Medicare is the best plan you possibly can have in your life. Why? 99.5% of the doctors are on Medicare. Take Medicare. That means anywhere in the country you can go, there's a doctor that'll take straight Medicare. If you're on one of the Medicare Advantage plans, they might not be able to take that plan. They might be not on that plan. What does that mean? Now you have to go search for a doctor or pay out of pocket for that plan. So Medicare, the only reason why a doctor is not on Medicare, and I want to clarify this, is either Medicare won't allow him to be on, or for some reason he doesn't want to be on as a cash pay, whatever that may be. But 99.9% of doctors who can be on Medicare select Medicare. Why? It's the best payer source. It's the best way that they know they can service their patients without any interference. There's no referrals. I mean, if you go in a doctor's office and you're going to have knee surgery, they spend half of the day trying to get your referral to the hospital, to the doctor, to the orthopedic. Then he has to get a referral. With straight Medicare, you go see any doctor you want. So let's lead us on to the next thing. Remember, I told you Medicare was allowed in 1963, signed by President Johnson and Kennedy. And what happened is in that plan, when they did it, they allowed a thing called home health to be allowed under Part A. Home health means it's the same thing when you go in a hospital. When you get discharged from home, you're entitled, if you're Medicare, you're 65 and older, or totally disabled, you're on Medicare, you can get home health in your home. That means physical therapy, occupational therapy. If you have a stroke, you can get what we call behavioral health care when you need, wound care, any type of care that they get in a hospital, they can do at home, they'll do it. And that's why when we're looking at home care, we're saying, okay, I just read an article today, how important home care is to the general public. There was a report that came out and said, okay, people today, even during the COVID period, when some people won't let anybody in the home, people will come into your home, a nurse, a PT, a physical therapy, because you know why? Most people don't want to go to outpatient. They don't want to go to a hospital. They don't want to do a lot of things. They want to stay in the surroundings of the home. And all the nurses right now are basically, they're checked for COVID. They have PPE equipment to go on. If you have a problem, you don't want anybody in your home, then we could do, it's not like a doctor where they can do a telemedicine call. We have to physically be there to see you. The only restriction home care has for seniors is they call you got to be homebound. And under President George Bush, he expanded that concept of homebound. That doesn't mean you have to be bedridden. That means basically you might have to leave home with some kind of assistance. President Bush even expanded that, said you can go to family outings and still get home care. You can go to the hairdresser, you go to the doctors, you go to the shopping. You can do that with assistance and you're still entitled to home care. So some people differentiate what they call homebound status. That doesn't mean you have to be bedridden. And remember, home care is your choice. And it's your choice to select any agency you want. This show is being brought to you by All County Healthcare. I happen to be the vice president of All County Healthcare. We have a 4.5-star rating with Medicare, a 5-star rating as far as basically customer satisfaction. We've been around for 30 years. We're locally owned. I've been in Florida for 40 years. So, we know the general public, we know the general people of Florida. And the fact is we go out of our way. We're not a big major corporation where we can't make decisions. Our people, our nurses, one thing, people caring for people, right? That's our whole model. Our whole model is that you're the most valuable person to us is the patient, and we make sure that you're treated well. And if you're not treated well, guess what? You call me personally. Call me at 954-717-7027. And one of the things we do when a doctor or a hospital gives us a home care order, we send out our nurse, an RN, who does a complete assessment. It takes about an hour, 15 minutes. We will know all your history, know all your medications, know everything you take, and whatever the doctor prescribed for you, we will do. If you have a wound care, we do a lot of wound care. Now, there's different ways of treating wound care. There's ways where people's doctor might order this medication, which is very expensive, and they'll try to substitute, some agency will try to substitute it for what I call a generic. We use whatever the doctor prescribes for you on your wound. That's why we have a tremendous outcome with wound care, right? We do a lot of wound care in the Delray area, the Boca area, Fort Lauderdale area. That was our specialty. One of our specialties was wound care. We also do physical therapy for a lot of orthopedic physicians. Patient gets out of the hospital with a new knee. She has a little bit of rehab. She has to do rehab in the hospital. She comes home. She does her rehab. And then if she wants, she can go to a rehab center. We have another thing, which is very important. Remember, live longer and healthier. That's our motto. So if you're suffering from any kind of bronchial disorder, COPD, whatever that may be, our company, which we invested heavily in the equipment, well over $100,000, for what we call IPV equipment. That means if you have COPD and you've been hospitalized, and COPD is one of the biggest causes for rehospitalizations. And if you're hospitalized with COPD and you get probably sent home after they help you breathe a little bit better, then guess what? Make sure you call us because we can treat you with what we call IPV therapy, interpulmonary ventilation therapy. That's the same therapy you're going to get in the hospital, we'll give you at home. We're the only company right now, I say, in Florida that treats patients in home with IPV. We've had people call us from all over the country. How do I get this treatment? Now, we have treated thousands of patients, and guess what? We've kept them out of the hospital for over 12 months. 12 months as they've been readmitted to the hospital. I got one person calls me and says, I need that treatment. I need that treatment, right? So all the people that get the treatment, they have a tremendous, tremendous amount of, recovery, and the doctors can't believe it, right? They go back and they take their oxygen levels again, it's skyrocketing. The other thing we've done, today, and I know it's almost time for the break, but we're going to talk a little bit more. When you're talking about home care, you're talking about choosing a physician, right? The question is, home care is a benefit that's been given to you, granted to you, for no charge. Because you don't pay 1 cent. It's your choice what agency you select. Whoever agency you want to select, that's who you tell the doctor you want to go to. He can't change it. It's your choice. We hope, of course, you select All County Health Care. Like today, for instance, a person wanted a physical therapist. So we made sure she got that physical therapist, right? And she said, well, I'd like to get this one physical therapist. We went out of our way to make sure she got that physical therapist. Or a nurse, right? And I can tell you, all our nurses do a bang-up job. And they're so hospitable. They're so caring, right? It's amazing how they treat our patients. Go to our website, All County Healthcare, www.allcountyhealthcare.com, and you will see all the so-called, what I call bouquet letters that came in over our website of how wonderful the treatment was, how wonderful IPV is, etc. We also now have ventured into what we call telehealth. I'm one of the few companies now, All County, that's invested now in what we call telehealth. We merge what we call with American Telemedicine. Not merge, but we associate ourselves with American Telemedicine. American Telemedicine has basically produced probably one of the finest telehealth instruments in the country. Now, I know today the doctors are calling it telehealth. I wrote an article right now, it's in Hospital News. I personally wrote this article in Hospital News. Why? Because I'm very, very unhappy with what's happening with telehealth. The doctor will call you, spend 20 minutes with you, telling you how you are, what's okay, and guess what? He knows nothing about you. He doesn't know your vital signs. He doesn't know your EKG. He doesn't know your temperature. So he knows very, very little about you. How can he do an exam? How can it be really an efficient exam? All he's saying how you're feeling. Of course, you're going to tell him you're feeling fine, right? Or if you don't feel fine, I don't feel fine. Then you got to go and see him. But with our program, we're putting our patients on for no charge. We call our Link Plus, Live Care Link Plus. What it does, it gives you the capability of taking all your vital signs every morning. Every one of your vital signs. That means you can take your glucose reading, you can take your blood pressure, you can basically take your oximeter reading, your heart rate, your scale, get on a scale, know what your weight is, your temperature. We have all these instruments that you take. It goes into what we call a portal. That portal recognizes it's you. It also recognizes that what these numbers are. So if the doctor wants to do a telemedicine visit, he's allowed into your portal, meaning now he knows up to date what your vital signs are and what your health situation is. And if he's something that he doesn't like, he's going to tell you to come into the office or go to 911, get to the hospital. How many people had a telehealth visit and 20 minutes later, an hour later, a day later, they end up in hospital? A lot of people, okay? So that's one of the things we did. I think we're going to take a break, right, Freddie? We're going to take a 30-second break. So we'll be right back. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please call into the station. Call me at our office at 954-717-7027. Freddie, do we have a number for the station, too, to call in? Yes. What's that number? Can I see it? Yes, you can. We're going to get a number for you if you want to do a call-in, because we're going to do something for you. Okay, the call-in number is 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And when you come back, I have a big surprise for you. You're going to get something that you're really going to want. Thanks, and let's take that break now.
All County Healthcare has exciting news for any and all patients with COPD or other respiratory ailments. Listen to what renowned pulmonologist Dr. Keith Robinson has to say.
Hello, I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, board-certified pulmonologist, medical director at Fusion Health Pulmonary Rehabilitation, and a board member with the American Lung Association of South Florida. We have exciting news for patients with COPD. We now offer IPV therapy at home, which has been demonstrated to improve airway clearance, decrease hospitalization, and improve quality of life of patients with COPD. Please call All County Healthcare for more information about this FDA-approved therapy.
For further information, call All County Healthcare now at 954-717-7027. That is 954-717-7027, or visit our website at allcountyhealthcare.com. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Remember, All County Healthcare always puts the patient's needs first. Puts the patient's needs first. You are listening to You and Your Doctor, Living Longer and Healthier, an informative show that helps you find answers to questions you always wanted to ask, but did not have that somebody that could make a difference in your life. Call into the show if you have a question at 888-565-1470, and we will put you on the air to inform all our listeners. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, South Florida. Welcome back all over the country. You know, I told you we have a surprise for you. One of our things we do, and they're telling me I have to look at a certain camera. So I'm going to look at this camera to see if it sees better, right? So one of the things we do at All County Healthcare, when you get a visit by a nurse, we give you a starter care package. In that starter care package is a patient handbook like no other. Like no other. I'm going to offer this to all our people listening today for free. This is a must that you must have. It has basically everything that you need to know about health care, who to call in case of an emergency, what food to eat, what this, what that. And this is the most important thing that you're going to want. So if you call into our office at 954-717-7027, and you tell them Lou said to send me out a patient handbook, second edition, right? This patient handbook costs us a lot of money to print, but I want every person that's listening tonight that's a senior, whether you use our agency or not, have this handbook. It has, for instance, about hurricane, evacuation, medications, what kind of medications. It has omnibus. It basically even tells you what foods to eat. It tells you what your medications are made of. It's basically a Bible for you for healthcare. So I'm going to offer this again to you folks for zero, for no money. Just call us. We'll even pay the shipping cost, right? We're going to offer this to you at 954-717-7027. My gift to you, right? I would love for you to have this handbook so that you can understand basically what you need in case of an emergency, in case you want to call ACA, in case you want to call you anything. This handbook is there for you. Again, it's 954-717-7027. The other thing I talked to you about was telemedicine. I talked to you about IPV. All right? I just wrote an article in the Hospital News, Health Report, right? If you get it, we'll even send you this article about telehealth. Right? We wrote this article, which is being published in the Hospital News. We have a tremendous amount of situations. We now are offering you, along with American Telemedicine has offered you, who partnered with All County Healthcare, they're saying to you, if you live alone, please look into our Link Plus device. It's a little device that has all the information. You call your home care company, call your doctor. It has everything right there on it. The Link Plus device, it's a must. If you're living alone, please. Why? Because if you have a home health day that comes in for 4 hours a night, 6 hours a night, guess what? They leave. Where does that leave you? That leaves you by yourself. I don't want you to be by yourself. I want you to have the Link Plus. And you know, people say, oh, it's very expensive, very expensive. No, it's not expensive. It's about $1 a day. A little more than $1 a day. And look what you get. You get every device there is, temperature, oximeter, scale, whatever you need for your health care. This is a wellness center in your home. Now, if you're telling me your health care and your health is not worth a little more than $1 a day, call me. I'll give it to you for free. Right? That's how sure I am. Because this product you must have. And if you're not happy with it, we'll take it back and refund your money. How much does it cost? I said a little more than $1 a day. It's like $49 for a month. Compared to ADT, I trip, I fell, I can't get up. You press the button, they send the EMT over. They take you to the hospital. You didn't have to be there in the first place. You got a big copay. You're not home. They break down the door like they did in my house. It cost me a new door because they have to get in. Right? I'm not saying it's a bad product. I also had that product. But I switched now to my Link Plus device. Extremely happy. What I do in the morning, I get up, I take my temperature, I take my oximeter, I take my blood pressure, and guess what? I know I'm pretty healthy for that day. If something changes, the doctor's going to call me or I'm going to call the doctor. During these COVID period of times, what's the most important thing that you're looking for? Is your temperature and your oximeter reading, which is your oxygen levels. Am I telling you you got 3 minutes? They tell me I only got 3 minutes. They cut me off 5 minutes. What do you want me to do? Okay? Well, anyway, we only have 3 minutes left. But I want you to remember, home care is something that you are given. It's your right. It was, don't forget, Kennedy and Johnson put it into force. It's no charge. No charge. I know there's some doctors that don't want to write it because they're basically what they call an ACO, and they're with this and they're with that. They're all trying to save money. But guess what? If you need home care, you insist that you get it from your doctor. What is happening today in medicine? Everybody's trying to cut corners to save money. Every doctor's trying to, listen, doctors have to make money. And everybody's trying to cut corners to make money. And doctors, I believe it. They should be given more money. To be a doctor takes a long time, right? And they're underpaid. So I believe doctors should have more money. The whole system needs to be revamped so they do get more money. People put a large investment in what we call assisted living facilities. People are scared to go to them today because of COVID. Their census down. But guess what? There's going to be a need for them when COVID is over, right? Because you can't live alone. Sometimes at a certain age, you have to need help. Now I got 2 minutes. They cut me down from 3 to 2. Well, I'm going to stay on longer maybe. But anyway, so the factor is that what we had here tonight, we're introducing you to, don't forget, our patient handbook. Although you're not a patient, you're going to get this handbook. I should call it a people's handbook. You leave it on your table. You read it. Read it like a Bible. Because I'm going to tell you, it's like a Bible for your health. I always call it the All-County Bible. Why? It tells people everything they have to know about health care. What the herbs are, what the medications are made of, who to call. Please call us now and we'll send you this for free. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, let's heal this nation. Thank you.
Thank you for letting us share with you a longer and healthier lifestyle. If you have a doctor or are a doctor and wish to be on the show, call AMP2 TV at 866-244-5422 and we will put you on the air as soon as possible. Tune in next week for more information on living longer and having a healthier life.